Chickaboom, chickaboom, chickaboom. Just picture that roadrunner going down the road. Running down the road, running
It's out of Colorado.
So we start the show.
3, 2, 1, and
Hello and welcome to New Mexico Day Trips. I'm your host, Shelley Carney.
I'm your other host, Toby Eunice. Hope you're having a good time already. What are we going to do tonight?
We're going to talk about our trip that
Yeah.
we had over the weekend.
Did you like that trip?
It was nice to get
Yeah.
outdoors. And,
Yeah.
You know,
It was a good day for it.
breathe
Nice
the fresh air. And
Yeah.
figure out what the Indians used to be.
Mhm.
I guess. I don't
Native
know.
Americans.
Native Americans.
My
The indigenous.
Yeah. My ancestors.
And the Spanish.
So, and my ancestors, that's the conflict. It's an internal conflict with me. So,
I don't
all right, guys.
understand
So we're going to be talking about the Pecos National Historical Park again, but we'll explain to you everything. Okay. So stick with us. I've got to do some housekeeping, and then we will start this program. So, where's my banners? There we go. So first of all, please like this video before you leave tonight. YouTube likes it when you like our videos. We, of course, like it when you like our videos. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social network so that we can grow the channel. And finally, if you are not already a subscriber, one of the 58 subscribers that we already have, please click on that subscribe button when you see the notifications bell. Bing.
Bauga.
The notifications bell, and that way every time we start a live stream, you'll be immediately informed. And as a result,
In the know.
because there's nothing better in life, ladies and gentlemen, than being in the know. Okay, so do we have any announcements to make? I felt like we had an announcement to make. Oh, we do have to make one announcement. For those of you that are familiar with our other channel, Gypsy's Kiss, which covered the Forest Femme treasure, you will have seen that we've moved away from that channel, but we're making the big move. And then on November 15th, we're going to delete all the videos that are on that channel. So, and we do mean delete. They will no longer be available now on that channel. If you do want to download some of them for your own use, meaning for your own research, you're welcome to do that. You may not download them for the purpose of starting another channel with our content, all right? Or even having it on your channel without our permission. We do occasionally give permission to folks who want to use it for, you know, making a YouTube video and they want to talk about the Forest Fan at Moby Dickens or something like that, but you need permission to do that. And we feel very strongly about not sharing. We don't mind sharing our content. We do mind sharing our copyright. So November 15th will be the last day on November 15th. Actually, November 14th is the last day because I'll take it down on November 15th. Okay. And if you're curious about, we have other plans for that channel. And we're not ready to announce those plans just yet because there's some cleaning up to do. And well, we just have other plans for it, okay? And we think it's outlived its usefulness, for lack of a better way to describe it. Okay, so why don't you fill in the folks? I always feel like I'm underexposed, yeah, which is probably good in some cases. All right, why don't you tell folks about what we did this week?
This weekend, we went back to, well, together we went, actually, I hadn't been there yet, to the Pecos National Historical Park. And we got video and photos of the gallery area because they were taking it down the next day. So it's no longer there. So we got the pictures of it before they pulled it out. And yeah, so, and we also got some more pictures of the gift shop and the chandeliers. And then we went over to the park where the church and the ruins are. And we had picnic at dusk.
At the picnic at dusk.
And the shadows kept chasing us
across the parking lot.
across the parking lot.
Yeah.
So the shadows are coming.
It was really funny because where they've got some very nice picnic tables. It's a very nice area. So not only is it a very classy visitor center, but when you drive away from the visitor center, it's a 3-4 minute drive. And actually you can walk there. Over to the archeological site where the church is, where the Pueblo ruins are, where the kivas are.
I was surprised how many people kept showing up.
Even and
There was
late in
people
the
there
evening,
the
whole time we
whole
were there.
time. They
Yeah.
kept coming and leaving and coming and leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. So so we went over to the archaeological site. Has a nice parking lot. It has picnic tables. It has the bear. What is it? Bear reductive. What do they call them? Bear. When you prevent bears, bear preventive trash cans, because you prevent bears. They have very nice bathrooms.
Bear safe,
They're not. Yeah, bear safe.
like child safe caps. It's a
Right.
bear safe garbage.
So they have very nice bathrooms. They were very clean, very complete, and they were not porta potties. They were real live bathrooms.
Real live ones.
Yeah, real live, as opposed to the porta potties, which are
dead.
Yeah, which are dead.
Okay.
And as I said, picnic tables. They didn't have any fire rings. It's not designed for.
But they had an
overnight camping.
Orno.
They did have an Orno, so they must do demos there because we did see it. Anyway, those would be perfect in summer because they're in the shade of several ponderosa pines that are there. And but when you're in the shade and the temperature's going down, it got cold. But it was the only place to cook. So what happened, and you'll see this in the video. I shouldn't have to. I won't explain it. It was warm enough to cook, but not warm enough to eat. So we have a little.
That doesn't make sense.
What?
That doesn't make sense.
What did I say?
It's warm enough to cook, but not warm enough to eat.
The location was warm enough to cook our meal, but it wasn't warm enough for us to sit down and eat our meal at the picnic table. It would have been too cold and uncomfortable. And this one gets cold at. I don't know.
One. You should talk.
If I get cold, I put on a jacket. I don't complain. You didn't see me complaining about the cold. Did you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch and find
Okay.
out. Did Toby complain?
So bear proof. That's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colorado. Anyway, we had a good day. It was we accomplished what we planned to accomplish. Now, I do want to point out, and I may have said this in the past, this doesn't. So as of Monday the 7th, the visitor center is still open. The museum gallery is closed, and they're going to deconstruct it, is what Becky called it. And that doesn't mean they're just going to demolish it. That means they're going to take all the artifacts, all the pottery that are in there, and they're going to put them at a Department of Interior storage facility in Santa Fe, and they're going to hold them there until they completely redo that room. And I don't know how dramatic the redo is going to be. I don't know if they're going to tear it down. If you go in there, and you'll see some of it, the ceilings are vigas with latillas. They're beautiful. I mean, it's adobe work. You wouldn't want to tear it down. What do you call it?
Renovate?
No, when you tear things down first and then you rebuild them.
Reconstruct?
Well, it's not a tear it down and rebuild.
Demolition?
Yeah,
demolish?
You wouldn't want to demolish it. It's too beautiful and too durable to demolish. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is go in the room, remove all the objects, things on the wall, and you'll see some of them in the video. And I'll share some of the photos that we took that day. Now, I'm going to warn you, although I have put up an album that I'll share with you, I haven't organized it, and it needs a lot of organization in the sense that they have to be put in some kind of rational order. I haven't done that. So they're not going to demolish it. They're just going to remove everything that's in there and start the story over again. Start it with new material, with updated material, because that gallery was built 40 years ago. So it's dated. New history has come out, new reasons to be there. It wasn't handicapped accessible. So they wanted to do a lot of other things from what they had done 40 years ago, and bless them for having done that. Now, that's going to be done by the federal government's Department of Interior, the people that specialize in this work. So they're not just going to come in and hire a bunch of schmucks like Toby and say, take this stuff down and put it in a box. They're going to hire professionals that come in and document all that work so that they have it. They're going to package it up so it's protected, and they're going to move it down to the storage facility in Santa Fe. So it's not like they're going to walk away from this. They're going to do pretty much, well, they'll probably do a lot better job of it. They'll spend the first part of that process of reconstructing it, just documenting what's in there, because that's what good historians and archaeologists would want you to do. But I thought to myself, well, that means it's going to be reserved for the people in the government who have access to that material, right? Or scholars or researchers who want to do something with it. And I thought to myself, this is public property, right? It is paid for by your taxes. Therefore, it's public property. And I'd like to have access to it. So if anybody else wanted to do that kind of research, they have access to this material, because just as I was going through it, and I've been through it now a number of times, but as I was going through it, documenting it, I was learning new things, they were dramatically new in the sense, like, you found out new things about the Native Americans, about the Spanish, about people that are your relatives, for gosh sake. So
Your relatives.
my relatives, yeah. I'm pretty much on both sides of that algorithm, actually. So it was important to me to do it. It might not be important to anybody else. Shelley helped me, and I think at some point, because she helped me, it's good because it becomes important to her, because it's important to me. And we do a lot of stuff like that. It may not be important to me when she starts a project.
Kumbaya, my lord.
Okay, Jesus.
Kumbaya.
All right. Point is, somebody had to do it. And, well, nobody had to do it, but I wanted to do it. And again, and Shelley will tell you that when I want to do something, I just go ahead and do it.
And it's just easier to agree.
Yeah, it's easier to agree. Yeah, or just say no, because we've had situations like that where I want to do something that's kind of, very much along with what I want to do. And Shelley would say, okay, well, you're on your own for that. And my children have done
and
that.
And he never has as much fun.
Exactly. So, anyway, that's what we did. And what we're going to do, actually, we'll share the video with you first, and then I'll share with you the link to the photos. Now, I just realized when I uploaded these photos that Google Photos now lets you upload videos as well. So Shelley shot not only some images, but she also shot 40, I think it was like 45 clips for a total of 25 minutes worth of video. So we'll upload those as well under a similar album called One Images and One Photos. And we'll share that with you. The only caveat is they are not organized in a catalog way. I just went through trying to catch as much content as I possibly could, capture as much content as I could. And I didn't think about organizing them while I was looking through the viewfinder of my camera. And so that will have to take place at another time, but I'll continue to work that so that it does. And organizing it means giving each one of these, right now their names consist of the name that the Panasonic Lumix camera gave them. But they need to be organized in a way that tells you where they came from in the gallery. And right now they don't do that. It looks kind of discombobulated. So we'll take care of that. I want to make an appointment. So I have till November 17th. The fall season ends November 17th to make an appointment to fish on that river. And I plan to do that. So my free days basically are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Except not Fridays.
Why not Friday?
Because you have all these doctor appointments.
Well, that's true.
Dentists
and doctors. And so I'm going to try and get there once before the season closes, because I can. And it's only $15 for God's sakes. And who wouldn't want to fish on a special stretch? I'll have a special stretch of the Pecos River all to yourself. How cool is that?
Did you get to fish over there?
That's what she was talking about.
Just answered. What city are you?
What city are you out of? Colorado.
Finishing. Not fish. Finish.
It says fish.
I know, but his name is Finish, not Fish.
Oh, is she talking to him? She's not talking to us. Okay, sorry. All right, here we go with the video. It's a little bit long. So this is a 30-minute video. So please be patient. Yeah. I don't like this setup.
Well, you should have fixed it.
I'm fixing it right now. I like this setup.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Here goes the video. We'll make comments along the way, but there isn't much comment. We're having fun. We're having fly fishing. Fishing. Okay.
What'd you call this? Unchuncha.
Tell our folks where we're going. Uncle Carlos.
All right. We are on 550 headed towards I-25 to go north to the Pecos Historical something or other.
National Historical Park.
National Historical Park. And that's where Toby was before, and we're going to go again. This time I get to go because I finished my homework.
Yeah, you did. Great work on your project.
Yes, that's done and all set to go. And I might even be live streaming on Thanksgiving to, share that with people. So we'll see. Anyway, we're headed up to Santa Fe and then toward Pecos.
East towards Pecos, as I finally corrected myself.
East, east, because it's Gloria to Pass and east. You gotta go east. East. All right, then what?
So I did bring the drone. I'm going to get that drone shot that I promised the last time. And then once we get to the Pecos National Historical Park, we're going into the visitor center. And because the gallery inside the museum style gallery inside the visitor center is going to be deconstructed, I guess is the best way to describe it. They're taking it apart and they're removing all the objects, putting them in storage, starting tomorrow, Monday. And because of that, I wanted to go document the way it looks now. We do have permission, although I don't feel like it's something that requires permission, but we did get permission to do it anyway. So this week's show is going to be about that. It's going to be about us documenting this 40-year-old facility that is going to be, as I said, deconstructed and rebuilt with all new material. And it will be open, I think she said in March of 2023 is when they reopen. So that's what we're doing today.
All righty then. So we're on our way to Santa Fe and beyond.
No, don't be that.
Road runners running really fast. You can see the camera on the front of the vehicle there. In the
Depending on
shadow.
where you are in relation to the sun.
And here we are, visitor center. I walk funny. I walk funnier than you walk.
Sorry, excuse me. Good, how are you?
I believe I remember you from the other week.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We had a great conversation with Becky, and we did manage to put the video up on our YouTube channel. Did I give you my business card?
Yes.
If you get a chance, take a look at it. It was we thought it was pretty good. We came back, and I don't know if you've talked to her at all, but she told me that this was the last day that this facility was going to be open.
Everybody wanted it.
Oh my God.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Through the double doors.
And I told her that I wanted to come back and document it. Is that okay?
I think it is.
All right.
We allow people to take photographs in there anyway, so
I can use flash.
I would be careful with the flash on pottery.
Okay.
This ring.
All right. Because I've got a good enough lens on there that I can shoot it without the flash.
It's out of sync slightly.
I recommend not using flash, but if it's not pottery, it probably works.
Okay, well, I figure it's the last day it's gonna be up anyway, so.
Well, the pottery will be coming back.
Oh, it will. So where will this stuff go? The stuff that, so some of it's gonna be reused, some of it's not. Where will it go in the meantime?
All of it will be going to our curation facility.
Oh, okay.
To another, GOI NPS over in Santa Fe.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's not going far away, it's staying local.
Okay, thank you.
I am glad you were able to get in touch with them.
Yeah, we had a wonderful conversation, and we used that voiceover as part of the video. So it came out just perfectly.
Music sounds all right.
For the next 2 hours, Shelley and I documented the contents of the museum. Shelley used the DJI Pocket 2 video camera, and I used my Panasonic Lumix G9 still camera. She recorded 45 clips totaling over 25 minutes worth of material. I shot over 350 images. Once they are cataloged, we'll upload them and make them available to everyone.
This way you get to see inside the pot because that's important.
That's a good idea.
There's nothing inside. Yeah, they heard the echo too, same as we did.
So this is rendered it. Flash in here, there's enough light to get the shots that I wanted from my documentary style shots. And they've asked that I not use flash anyway when it comes to the pottery because it would affect it. So thankfully I have a lens on that will enable me to do that.
Well, we visited the Pecos National Historical something or other. What was it?
Pecos National Historical Park.
Park. We went to the visitor center and we took tons of pictures of all the art and pottery and all
Imagery.
the artifacts that they have and the dioramas and
Text.
the gift shop itself and everything. So we have that, and now we're going to go over to the park part and have some dinner.
So we actually came back to the archaeological site so that we could have dinner because it's nice and sunny, except that the picnic tables are over there and they're in the shade. So I'm going to cook over there, but I think we're going to eat over here in the sunlight. It's a beautiful day, though. I gotta say that, folks.
Smells good.
All right, so let
Chicken.
me tell you what I'm doing here. So this is the rice. It's boiling.
Is there chicken in there already?
No, I'm going to cook the chicken
Oh,
separately.
smart chicken.
So I'm going to cook that separately. I do have some vegetables in there,
Oh, okay.
and then chicken is in there right now. I'm going to flavor it with the adobo over there,
Mm-hmm.
and then cook it on the grill here or the stove.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get the signal that this has gone from cooked to warm,
Yeah.
and I've got some seasoning for that as well. All right. So should be just
Just chicken and rice and vegetables, and
and the chicken's in there.
that is it.
Yeah.
Das ist alles.
I was going to do a salad, and I thought, well, I've got the vegetables and the rice.
Yeah.
Hand me the chicken. So I did the thin ones because we never finished the full-size breast anymore.
Yeah. And we got a chocolate bar for dessert.
Yum. Which one? What kind?
It's a Mars bar. Mars chocolate caramel.
Okay, looks
Is it
like
ready yet? Is it ready yet?
the rice is done. I'm just going to add some flavor here. A little bit of flavor.
Butter.
Well, a
It's
little
like
bit of
butter.
but it's got some teriyaki and some. So I can start the chicken now. Would you do me a favor
What?
and go in the box on this side? There's some of those wipes, handy wipes.
Front or back?
In the box,
Oh, in the box in the back?
inside the box, yeah.
It's on top of here, actually. These?
The big white one, yeah.
What, you didn't bring gloves?
I didn't bring gloves.
There you
And it's sticky.
Get back in there.
All right, so they all try this. I've literally never had this seasoning.
Adobo. Better smell it.
Adobo.
Better smell it. Oh, it's all over it now. Whether you like it or not.
And they always use a bunch of it, so I don't know whether I'm making a mistake here or not. What's in it?
Don't know. Let's find out. Now that you've poured it all over our food. Let's see. Salt, number one ingredient.
Well, that'll work.
Garlic,
That's good.
tricalcium phosphate.
Oh, that's not good.
Black pepper, oregano, and turmeric. And that's it.
Turmeric?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a serious.
Turmeric's good for you.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. So is oregano. Salt. A little salt's okay. Garlic and black pepper are also good for you. Turmeric and black pepper together, that is a winner all over the place. So,
Where's the spoon? What did I do with the spoon? Here.
yeah, I don't know.
Do me a favor and stir that butter into the rice over there. Please. Mm. You think so?
Spray is melted.
Okay. There we go. That's what I want to hear.
Now you got to adobo the top.
We're going to adobo the other side.
Yep. That's all right. It's good for you.
Turmeric and what?
Black pepper, garlic, oregano, and salt.
All right. We're going to leave this here to cook for just a little bit. And meanwhile, I'm going to turn this off. So we're losing sunlight pretty quick. We've actually had to move our dining table on the other side of the parking lot. But I think our chicken is ready. Smells good. Turn this off. And I'm going to go ahead and slice it since all we have is plastic utensils. Actually, let me cut one in the middle just to make sure it's yeah. All right, why don't you go ahead and split the rice between the two plates for me? Turn this up so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So they're serving rice over there. I'm going to serve it on top of the rice, so just center it up.
Oh, okay.
That looks a little bit underdone there. I feel like this needs a little bit more cooking.
Needs more what?
Cooking.
Stick it back in the pan. Don't take too long though, because the rice is going to get cold now.
We'll just have to cut this part out.
That's what people like, though. They like to see us mess up.
Yeah,
Then they know it's real.
well, I don't like undercooking stuff. I mean, there's just a couple of spots. It's where the fold was. There was a little fold in the meat.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just turn it back on with the fire. Make a little bit more fire for it.
I'll block the wind.
It doesn't seem to be bothering it now. Seems fine. I mean, it does have the 2 windscreens on it, so.
Popular place here.
Mhm.
It's a popular place here. People coming in all
you know
day
what?
and all night.
Like I said, I think people use it for not recreation, but I saw a lot of people just
They're all over the thing.
walking. You know, like.
Yeah, but they're all over it. I mean, it's not like they're out walking.
Oh,
They're
that's
on
true.
it. Popular place. Now you're gonna have to throw the rice in the pan.
Okay,
too.
no. We'll go. Hand me one. Go ahead. I'll meet you at the table. Okay, so this isn't a stabilized shot, but what I'll do is I'll put you over there so you can see where we're going. And we probably got 15 minutes worth of sun left. Well, I mean, like sunlight. Sunset isn't until 5:30, and it's only. What happened?
I spilled my water.
Oh, I thought you had dropped your dish.
No.
Well, it should just fall through the cracks.
Pretty much.
Oh, don't worry about it. So this is our little aluminum folding table. Those are our dishes, and so we're not going to force you guys to watch us eat, but I'd like Shelley to try it out, make sure she's happy with it.
I don't have a fork, so
Oh, sorry.
a little pecan on the top. Little walnuts,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Pecans.
Good?
We haven't tried chicken yet. Let me try chicken.
All right. I don't think we have to season both sides. Seems a little over seasoned. No?
No, that's good.
All right, guys. Arroz con pollo, New Mexico day trip style. So we're going to finish dinner, clean up our messes, and then probably, not probably, we're going to head home. All right? Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us today.
So we had a great day at the Pecos National Historical Park, and I walked around and I saw the sights at the park, the kiva and the church, the old church, and the walls that were left, and all of that. So it was very cool to see all that, and it's a nice facility. They had bathrooms and picnic tables and
Great visitor center.
Visitor center was awesome, but this is a little ways away from the visitor center. You would drive between the two. And I did a few selfies and Instagram, as much as I know how to do. Anyway, that's it for today. We had a great time. If you're in the area of Pecos, check it all out. It's going to be all new exhibits in the spring of 2023. So if you've been there before, even if you haven't, it'll be new. So go back again, is what I'm saying. What else?
Yeah, you can go back to the visitor center, but as of tomorrow, the museum gallery is going to be closed,
That's right.
and they're going to start to reconstruct it.
So wait till spring to come
Right.
back.
And we will. Actually, I guess we'll have to come back then to see what they've done.
And of course, we're talking about doing more things south rather than north because it's starting to get cold.
Yeah.
Especially in the shade, even on a sunny day. So we'll be having more day trips coming up further south in New Mexico. And that's all I got for today.
Or some indoor stuff. We can always
Or
do some
indoor
indoor
stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Do me a favor, turn the camera around, see what kind of view we get.
Oh.
Do that. You've got to turn it off.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice. Nice little. So we're in the town of Pecos right now.
Ah.
But you can see the sun has set over the mountain on that side. We were trying to beat the shade as it was going through the trees, but we didn't consider that sun is behind the mountains.
We had to keep moving our table again
Yeah.
and again and again
Yeah.
because the shade kept getting us.
So it was a good day. I think we had a good day. We got to talk to the rangers. Some other people came. You know, it was a very busy day. There was a lot of people there today.
Yeah. Lots of people there. Every time somebody would leave, somebody else would show up.
Yeah.
And it's a good place to hang out.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful area. Where'd that moon go? Moon was up.
Behind us now.
Oh. All right. That's all I got.
All right, we'll see you again next time. There we go.
There we go. All right, let me see if I can answer some questions here. Jeep Girl Jody asks, Grandma's recipes from the book. First of all, the recipe book is Aunt Lucy, not Grandma, and that's my recipe. I like rice. I don't eat it a lot because it's not good for me. But that's an easy to put together rice recipe. It's just rice and frozen vegetables. And it goes nice, especially nice with chicken. It goes with anything, but especially nice with chicken. The dressing was a combination of teriyaki sauce and soy sauce and a couple of tablespoons worth of butter that you pour in at the last minute, and that just adds some flavor to it. So Lorraine asks, how did you plug in the crock pot? You may have seen the little box behind it. That's actually a solar charger. It's solar storage. It's a battery, and you can plug anything in there. I use it. I don't know whether you saw the original story. I actually have solar panels that go with it, and I use it to charge, or not to charge, but to be able to use my CPAP machine when I'm camping. And it'll go 2 nights on my CPAP machine. When I use that crock pot, it's not a crock pot. It's a rice maker. It is very high wattage because of the heat. So I know from experience that I can get 1 pot of rice from that particular battery, and then I'll have to recharge it. And I can recharge it with the solar panels, or just plug it into my truck has a 125 volts AC plug in it, so I can charge it in there. Let's see. Paul asks, I have a question, Toby. Are you a prepper? Paul, I am not, but I do, after 40 years worth of experience, I do maintain a go bag, and always have and probably always will, but I don't think of myself as a prepper.
More of a runner.
More of a, let's get I'm a get off the X kind of person. I don't know. There's a really good book. I can't
That's the
remember his name
Roadrunners
now.
on our.
But the get off the X is my bottom line. And the go bag goes with me, and it has everything I need to survive.
He has some cool
gadgets. Yeah, we do have that very cool stove. Works very nicely on either propane or butane. I think when we take it out next week, we're going to take a butane canister with us just to see how that works, because it's less of a setup. And that pan, I was looking for a high quality pan that was compact, and I found those on Amazon. I'll put that stuff on our Amazon list. And it has a very sturdy handle with it that will store inside the pan, so it doesn't take up any extra space. And then when you're ready to cook, you just put it on, and it grips it with silicone. It has kind of a silicone grip on it, and you just close that up. And then when you're done, you take it off and you wash them separately. So it is very cool. So let's see, chef's cut. Yeah, that's kind of what we did with the chicken, because we do have plastic utensils, and it's hard to cut through meat with the plastic utensils. And I don't feel like we need to. I do that when we do red meat as well. So making me hungry just in time. Colorado says you could make some chicken mole with that. Yeah, you could. So Lorraine, Shelley's vest is called a journalist's vest. I have one that I've had for, I don't know, decades. And Shelley, one time we were doing a show, and Shelley had a purse and a, what do they call that little butt pack?
Fanny pack.
Fanny pack, butt pack. Yeah, see, I was close. And she wasn't complaining, but she was going like, I need a vest like that. So we bought her one. They are on Amazon. I can't find the one. So the one that I bought was at the time made by B&H, or you could buy it off B&H Photo, and it was called a photojournalist vest, and it has the little epaulets and things, and everybody anybody wore them in the field when I was there. I also have one of the original, I don't know if you guys know Banana Republic, when Banana Republic was a small catalog like that, and it was run by a husband and wife before it migrated into being a big chain. They were bought out. The brand was bought out, and it became a big chain store that had nothing of the things that I bought. I used to buy boots from them, jodhpurs. You may not know that. I used to buy leather camera bags from them that were made in England. So that's they had clothing and accessories that were designed for world travelers, right, kind of people. And I have the original one from that. I went to eBay the other day to see what it's selling for, and the original ones are selling for like $375 to $500, depending on their condition.
So he wouldn't let me have that one, so you had to go
No.
buy one from
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
And when we got the vest, we looked at it, and he's like, "Wow, look at all these pockets on the inside." And then we looked at the tag, and it said it was a concealed carry vest. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't. I thought that was interesting.
So what I conceal and carry is my sunglasses and the camera, and
yeah. So they are very helpful because you don't have to carry packs, and you can put pretty much everything in that and have it easily accessible. The only thing that you have to remember at the end of the day is to check all the pockets to make sure you don't leave anything sitting in the pockets.
some things in the pockets.
Yeah, you can.
Like I have a little container of hand sanitizer, and I can leave that in there.
I have a pen and a flashlight because I use those all the time. So they are very, maybe we'll add that to our Amazon store as well, because it is very good. I didn't realize until afterwards it was a concealed carry vest, but it doesn't make any difference because it's very useful.
Yeah, pockets.
Let's see. Colorado says
pockets.
those views are awesome. I think he was talking about when we were in the museum. Who is this guy? Must be a chest cam. Yeah, it's a DJI Action 3 cam. It's like a GoPro, but it's DJI's version of the GoPro. It has very good stabilization, and it's on a chesty, one of those camera holders that fits over your shoulder and sits on top of your chest. And I like the video that it produces. I like the angle that it produces. It's very easy because your hands are left free, and it's wide enough to get everything in the scene. Now, what we've been doing, it's not the best with audio. It picks up wind, and there's not much you can do about it because the microphones are actually on the camera. Inside or in the truck, it's pretty good without the wind, but once the wind is involved, it doesn't do well. What we've been doing is, you may have seen several scenes where Shelley has a little mouse on her jacket. That's a wireless microphone, and there are two of them. She has one, and I have one, and then there's a receiver, and normally
which fits in one of my vest pockets.
Right, and the receiver, so the configuration that we use is we take the receiver and we plug that into a Tascam digital audio recorder, and it's a very small recorder, but it's high quality. And the receiver in the Tascam, Shelley puts that in her pocket, and the range for that receiver is 250 feet right? It's a wireless
Which
receiver.
is why you could hear me so clearly when Toby's way across the parking lot from
Yeah.
me. When I say something or make a noise, and you can hear it very clearly
Right.
because of the receiver, and it picks up both of us.
And the what happens is when I'm editing that, we start every one. So when I tell Shelley to turn the recorder on, the first thing I do is identify it. Take 5 in the museum, slate, slate, slate. And so that's being recorded on the camera and the Tascam, and I just line those things up, and that way we have the high quality audio that you wouldn't otherwise get. It would just be wind noise and things like that. And then as we were talking to one another, for example, as Shelley said, when we were literally across the parking lot from one another, the recorder picks up her transmitter and my transmitter simultaneously. So it works out very nice. But yeah, it's a DJI Action.
That was our first time
3.
trying that out, so we didn't know how it was going to work.
Right.
It worked out really
Well,
well.
I had tested it. I mean, I had tested it independent just to make sure that everything, like with the test.
Yeah, but I didn't know that I could be clear across the room in the museum and
Yeah.
still pick up you whispering to your microphone.
Right. Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Let's see. So did we have any more questions after that? Mary Green says, my parents used to put lunch. You know who did that? My dad used to do that. He would put them literally on the
barbecue.
The barbecue. He used to wrap them in foil and he would put them on the exhaust manifold, and it would just cook it basically. I also remember they used to put those canvas bags with water, and they would hang them on the front bumper because they were evaporative, and that's how you cooled the water. So
cooled the water.
You kept the water cool. Yeah, because it was it was canvas, and you would put the water in, and some of the water would soak to the outside. And as you were driving, the wind from driving would act as an evaporative cooler, and would cool the water in that container.
Okay.
I haven't seen them in years.
Did it cool you though?
It wasn't designed to cool. It was just designed when you were traveling and you needed water. That was before there were, you had to have water, or you needed to fill your radiator. That's when they put, water in the radiator too. So. The old Shell gas station, it's still there. That Shell gas station in Pecos is still there. Let's see. Toby, did you say that your family was from Pecos? If so, how long ago? My family is not from Pecos. My family is from, I don't know where the native side of me is from. I assume the native side of me is from the Arizona, because my father's birth certificate is St. John's, Arizona. And that's where my grandfather Perez was from. So my guess is it's either Navajo or Apache, because those are the only tribes in that area. The Delgados and Espinosas are all Santa Feanos. They came with Don Diego de Vargas for in 1693. So I'm Santa Fean. The families are Santa Fean on the Delgado and the Espinosa side. I did spend a lot of time in Pecos because it was one of my dad's favorite fishing spots. And we used to go up there, both he and I, just for afternoon fishing, and then the family would go there for picnicking while he fished. And then my mother, after my father died, my mother used to take the nuns about once a month. We'd drive them up to the monastery before it was public. We had access to it because of the nuns, and we'd go there and we would have picnics with the nuns. And I had access to the river and the lake. But that was way, way back when. So also my father had friends.
That was a story in the book, in case you haven't read it yet.
It is?
Yeah.
Is that in the Gypsy's Kiss?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. But also there were a couple of Lebanese families in Pecos. The Adelos were Lebanese, and they had a little country store. They had the country store and gas station when I was growing up. I don't know that they still had it. And all those Lebanese families were very close, very tight. Like if you go from Santa Fe to Albuquerque, there's a place that's called Budigers. And Budiger was also one of the Lebanese family. Then there used to be a little country store right there where we would stop, and they would visit and talk in Lebanese to each other. I couldn't understand what they were saying. My father was very fluent. He spoke English, Spanish, and Lebanese, or Arabic. And so they would visit with one another because they were all connected. When my father came from the old country, he was 12, 13-year-old. And they sent him here, and he stayed with all these different families until he grew up. They basically cared for him until he grew up, while his mother and father stayed in the old country, as they refer to it. So let's see. Yeah, that's right. He had a 3-wheel bike. That's right. He had a Schwinn 3-wheel bike that he got around town in. And eventually, of course, they all passed away. And I think, although they had children, the children, sold the business and moved on with their lives. The Lebanese were very good at making sure that their children went off to college. Now, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that college gives you the opportunity to grow into what you want to do. They always wanted to be doctors, lawyers, or dentists, that kind of professional. But the other thing is, the last thing that you're going to end up doing is living in Pecos, New Mexico, and running a country store. So after their parents would pass away, they'd do what we all did, and that was go on with their own lives. So let me share a couple of screens with you here, so I can show you what we're going to do. Let's see, share screen. And that would be over there. I'm not going to share the audio there.
You're going to share the audio?
I am not.
No, you clicked on to share it, didn't you?
Oh, did I?
Yes,
Okay.
you did.
Well, there's not going to be any audio anyway.
Well, then you might get a echo.
An echo. Okay. So let me do that over again.
Undo.
Undo. So share system audio. Okay. Got it. I don't know what I'd do with that, Shelley, here.
I don't know what you'd do either.
I don't know.
You'd be lost.
I'd be lost. Okay, so a couple of things I want to show you. So I will post this. I will share. Let me get the link first. So create a link. Oh, look, GoodellCon's been to the other ones. So it's creating a link, and I'm going to copy that link. Okay. So this is the rough draft of the photos that I shot. Okay. These are unedited, ungraded,
No, you
color
hit the
correct.
chat button.
Oops. What was I? Oh,
Just
why
trying
is
to
that there?
enter.
Okay,
There
there.
you go.
So that's where these photos are. And these are all the photos. There's 350 plus of these photos, collecting every detail. If your interest is in pottery, these guys had a really good and a good variety of pottery in this location. But I documented everything, every little text sign, every little image, the dioramas, everything that was there, literally everything that you could find. So if you have an interest in this area or an interest in this topic, you could go there and use it for research. But again, we've got to organize it so it fits, everything fits where it's supposed to, because there were all these, like it would start with, let me see if I can find one here. Okay, so it would start like with one of these, right? So I would get that image, and then I would go to each one of these smaller ones and take close-ups of them. So you had all this content, and the content is in both Spanish and English. So so it was already translated. So not only do you get this overview thing, but you get smaller images, readable images of the text, the images, and things like that. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with it. And that's the link in there if you have any interest in any of this. Now, I just found out tonight that I could also upload video now to Google Photos. So I'll take all the footage that Shelley shot and put it up there as well, so that you have that. Anybody who's interested, I mean, you got to have an interest in it. But these are full-size images. They're 48 megapixel images. So, and once you get there, if you have that link, you can actually right-click them and save the image if that's what you want to do. So, like I said, probably doesn't make any difference to anybody else but me, but I wanted to make sure that I did that. All right. So there's that. Then, do you have anything to add to any of that?
No.
That I've talked about?
We spent the day there.
We spent the day
We
there.
took lots of pictures.
We did.
The end.
So I think, let me hang on. let me remove this for just a second. I think that power supply is actually in our store. Let me see if it's there.
One with this.
There it is. Okay, so
Palky.
Pauky, yeah.
Mhm.
So and the price is up. That's more than I paid for it. But let me show you guys. So this is the power supply that I used. It's a Pauky power supply. It's their smallest model.
There's a $20
Oh, and there's a
coupon.
$20 coupon. So it was 24% discount, 151, and a $20 coupon. And I got it for 131. And it has two AC plugs, and then it has several USB plugs as well. And for that crock pot, I can get one meal out of the crock pot. Rice cooker, because the rice cookers do use a lot of wattage. They're drawing 211 watts while they're doing it. And then it charges. Here's the charging thing right there. It charges in about 5 hours. So, and like I said, I do have a 120 volt AC plug inside the truck and in the truck bed, so I can just plug it into there, and it will recharge. But I also got the Flex Solar, 60-watt Flex Solar panels, and they fold up into, I don't know, like a briefcase size, and that'll charge it in about 5 to 7 hours as well with full sunlight. So you don't actually need power to
a tent with
charge
solar
it.
panels. Look at that, fancy.
It's an excellent idea. So I wanted to see. So the Tascam. This is the Tascam that we use. So we record everything to that, the DR05X. As you can see, it's not a very expensive recorder. And it's been on sale for a while, so I'm sure they're going to come up with a new product as well. And then the microphones that we were using are the Comica microphones, the Boom X D2s. And you can see it has 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. It also has lavalier microphones. So this is a microphone right there on top. But if you didn't want to use that, you can plug a lavalier microphone into it as well. And then the receiver. And they stay charged for, you can get about 5 hours out of them. And they'll charge in 2 hours. So they're very useful, very compact. I mean, they're little tiny things. There's nothing in here that shows kind of the size, but let me see if there's yeah. So they're about like that, little tiny, very compact. They have an addition. In addition, they have another thing. I'm gonna see if I put it on here. That right there. So I went ahead and purchased that, and that's also a receiver, but it plugs into your smartphone. So, and it comes in a version with a USB Type-C and a Lightning adapter, so you can just plug it into your phone, and that becomes a receiver for the 2 transmitters on your phone. Very compact. We use that when we're doing interviews, and if you see us at the end when we're kind of doing the intros and outros, we do that as well. So we love the equipment. Okay, let me see. So 2 places for a couple that enjoy selling on an auction site. Well, first of all, that the stuff that he sold, he donated some of it to his family, gave them the option what they're going to do with that. But you got to remember, the proceeds of all that auction goes to his family. It was in his will. They were left, with what to do with it. It was all cataloged. He did leave some to some of the museums in Santa Fe. Some of the museums did get that. And of course, he takes it. There's a tax benefit to that kind of donation. But mostly he collected it in order to provide for his family after his death. So that's why he did that. When it comes to the Fenn treasure, all of that was out of his hands. So as I understand it, after Jack found it, he was planning to auction it. but apparently this Soto Sagrado LLC bought it from him, and they're putting it up for auction at Heritage. The Soto Sagrado, by the way, is Spanish for sacred treasure. I'm not sure.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, it's not Mr. Fenn that's doing this. It's actually an LLC that was established in Delaware, and they do have an attorney representing them. So this is two generations removed. So it was Jack Stoof that found the treasure. Jack Stoof sold the treasure to Tesoro Sagrado LLC, and Tesoro Sagrado LLC has given that to Heritage Auctions to auction off a piece at a time. Oh, you're not speaking of the treasure. Yeah. That was all the treasure stuff. That Mary's right about that. That Mr. Fenn left the majority of his collection to his family to be dealt with. And they had their choices at that point because it was left
Over
to
his lifetime, though, he did give a lot of things to
yeah.
different museums, especially the one in Cody. So.
Yeah. So we know for certain that he's given stuff to the museum in Cody and the Buffalo Bill Museum, and that he's given to collect part of his collections or items in his collection to museums in New Mexico, Spanish Colonial Art Society or Art Museum, and the Museum of Native American History and Culture. So he's actually done that. I don't know. So there is a Native American museum in Washington. I don't know if he's done that, but he has donated some of his collection. He donated some of his collection beforehand. In his will, he donated part of his collection after that, but what was left in his collection was given to his family to decide. Because it's like saying to your family, here's everything I own, split it up 5 ways. I've not done that. I've arranged to have everything sold and then have the cash split up rather than have them argue over who gets what. So,
except for this room, which is mine.
Yeah, this room below this. That's one of the fun things in my will.
I'm going to run around the house and just put things in this room that I want to keep.
This
is mine.
His watch collection. It's in the. It's in the studio. Yeah, it actually, there's a section of my will that says the contents of the studio goes to Shelley Carty.
That's right.
And that was the only way I could figure it, because there's nothing in here that would be of any interest to any of my children. And it includes the closets, which have all the, side equipment, the other equipment that we use. So Shelley's going to get all that.
They don't even know about this.
No, they don't.
The storage facility.
Yeah, they don't know yet. Then. It's added to the will. So the storage
I just said it. Now they know.
Yeah. So the storage facility is either sell it in its entirety or sell the contents at auction, and then so just share the money. Let them share the money. So anyway, there's that. Okay. Last thing that I wanted to share with you is this week we are going back to the Bosque de la Pacha National Wildlife Refuge. I called them yesterday and got a voice messaging system. They returned that call, and I don't know who returns a call at 6:30 in the morning, but at 6:30 in the morning, I'm snoozing. And they left a message, and they told us that I could play the message for you.
No, just tell them the story.
Okay.
Come on.
So they left me a message, and the message basically said that the fields have been flooded for the most part, including the ones closest to the road, which means that all the fields have been flooded, and that some of the cranes, up to 1,000 of the cranes, have arrived, and that means they're doing their fly-ins and fly-outs. Now, the way this works is you either get the cranes in the morning or you get them in the evening. In the morning, they all take off, and I don't know where the hell they go, but they don't come back until the evening. In the evening, they come back, they land, they poke around for a little while, they take off, and before sunset, they come back yet again. So you have to be prepared for that. So we're going on Sunday. We're going to go early enough so that we're going to have a lunch rather than a dinner. And I haven't decided what we're doing yet. And then we'll spend the evening recording the birds. I'm going to take a lot of photos and I'm going to take some video, but mostly we're going to make sure that we get all of that. Now it's going to be slightly different because there will be crowds there, but Sunday is the only day I have free to do this, and the weather is going to go bad. So Sunday was going to be the warmest day and the least windy and no additional weather. So we're going down there on Sunday, and that'll be our show on Wednesday, Return to the Bosque del Apache. This is the 4th time I'll be back there. So twice with Shelley. So
We drove by there
we've driven by
after
there.
Fort Craig.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually drove through it just
Yeah.
to see if the water had
And there were
if
no
the fields had
cranes
been
at that
flooded.
point in time.
No cranes, no ducks, no water. The fields hadn't been flooded yet, because what they do, and I think we shared some of those images with you. These fields are basically flat fields that are pretty much grass, and and they have berms around them, but and they have acequias that come off the Rio Grande that are going directly from the Rio Grande through the acequias to these fields, and they just open up the dams and they flood the fields completely, because apparently that's what these birds like. So and they sleep on one leg. When they go up on one leg, that means they're going to sleep. But the fun part is with the cranes, especially the cranes are very wary of the coyotes, and so they set up sentries, and you can see the sentries. They walk around the perimeter of all the cranes, making sure they're not in. I was going to share something with you. So the other night, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it so you can hear it. So the other night I was down, I have a park just north of me that's right on the river, and that's where I get to go my drone shots. What?
Put us full screen. We're going to tell more stories.
Okay. So that's where I go for my drone shots when the cottonwoods are yellow. But the other night I was getting some ground shots rather than drone shots going through the cottonwoods, and I'll share those on Instagram. And I've only heard this twice before. Suddenly, all the coyotes start calling to one another. And I don't know what it causes it or what stirs it, because I've been there. It's again just before sunset. So sunset that night was going to be at 5:04 p.m. And this took place, and I know because of the recording, this took place at 4:54. And I'm going to play it for you so you can hear it.
Did you hook it up to the speaker?
4:56. I didn't. I'm just going to play it through my microphone. Okay. So let me see. I saved it twice. So this is, as I'm walking, I'm holding a gimbal camera, and I'm just walking through, kind of getting a shot of these cottonwoods and the sunlight and things like that. And I heard this. Let's see if we can.
You have a speaker on?
So they were just calling like that to one another for about 60 seconds, and then they stopped. The footsteps that you hear were actually another gentleman that was going in the other direction, and it sounded like there were hundreds of them. And of course, you don't see any of them. I occasionally will see a coyote, but it is rare that you don't see any of the hundreds that are calling to each other. And this is 3 minutes away from my neighborhood. As a matter of fact, you can see the neighborhood up on the hill. So they're between the river and the neighborhood. That's the direction all of this was coming from. So let me see real quickly if I have any of this stuff that I did then. I don't think I uploaded it yet.
Well, that would be another video to finish doing and putting up.
Yeah, I do. I know.
So,
You're right. I got a bunch of stuff that I have to put up there.
yeah.
So, it was in the evening, and I mean, it was just kind of and I heard this one time when I was on the Bosque bike trail. I was out there in the evening, and it was getting late like that. And all of a sudden, they just you couldn't see any of them, but you could hear hundreds of them calling to each other. It's pretty amazing. Okay, I think that's it. So this week, Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge, me and Shelley. And then we'll be back next week for a show. I will upload later this evening. I will upload this video. So it's the video from Pecos separately, so that if you don't want to go through the show and you just want to watch the video, you can do that as well. Okay.
Mhm.
Last words.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next
Let me take
time.
down this banner. And don't forget, if you want any of the videos, you can download the videos from A Gypsy's Kiss up until November 15th. You can't make your own channel out of our videos, but if you want them for research purposes and you want to use them, you're welcome to download them for research purposes on your own. We don't expect you to put them on YouTube. And the reason is that channel has long past its usefulness, and we want to do something else with that channel. All right, we'll tell you more about it as it gets closer to happening. All right, let me see. Taking down the banner. I need to go to brand. I need to do the outro. Say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye. We love you. See you next week.